get a stick.
Thank you. So, you ever get that gas feeling where you have to sit on the toilet because you're not quite sure what's like waiting on the other end of it? So I had that feeling, and when I did that, all that was waiting was more pain. It was a pain that just got worse and worse for 2 days until I was in the fetal position on my couch, just writhing in pain, and my wife says to me, "Bradley, you need to go to the emergency room." And I said, "Really?" So I get into the car, she packs our 1-year-old daughter into the car, and we're driving to Riddle Hospital, and the pain just gets worse and worse inside of me until all I could do is just vomit all over the car, and it's awful. And my daughter is 1 year old, she has no clue what's going on. She's crying, "Wah, wah." And we finally get to the hospital. The nurse takes a look at me, asks some questions, and I answer them, and she says, "Oh, it's probably kidney stones. Take a seat over there." Because, they want to, take care of the people that are actually dying as opposed to just the people who feel like they're dying. So what seems like hours go by, and I'm finally seen, and I'm just screaming, I'm pathetic. And the nurse comes up to me and says, "Bradley, I have treated 7-year-olds with cancer who have dealt with pain better than you." And I probably would have had a really good, remark to really put her in her place, except that she who controls the morphine can be as nasty as she wants to be. So next thing I know, it's a few hours later, and I'm waking up very groggy and feeling a bit better, and I go to the bathroom, and she hands me a little sieve to go through, and she says, "Go, pee through this." So I go through it, and sure enough, looking right back at me is this tiny little kidney stone, like the size of a grain of sand, that had caused me all this pain. Unbelievable. So they discharged me, and they told me to follow up with my doctor. So 2 days later, I did. I see my doctor, and he says, "Bradley, let me ask you a question. Do you drink soda?" I said, "Yeah, I do drink soda." He said, "You gotta cut it out, Bradley. It's terrible for you. It causes high blood pressure, diabetes, and it causes kidney stones. It's just no good, it's junk." So I said, "You know what? You're right. I will quit drinking soda. I gotta start taking control of my health." And I did, for about a week. And then my wife caught me drinking soda, and she said, "Oh, so this is what you're gonna do?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "All right, well, do what you want." Which is great, because I love doing what I want, right? And she said, "But when you get your next kidney stone, and you will, you could drive yourself to the hospital." So flash forward to 4 years later, I wake up in the middle of the night feeling an unbearable yet familiar pain. And my wife says, "You know what, just go drive yourself now, it's only gonna get worse." So I got dressed in the middle of the night, and I got in my car and drove to Riddle, and halfway through there, the pain became unbearable, and I was gonna throw up, but this time I pulled over, because this is my car, right? I actually care about it. I threw up on the side of the road. And I get to the hospital, and they give me the morphine, and I urinate out a couple hours later, and they send me home. They tell me to follow up with my doctor, but this time I didn't, because I know he means well, but I didn't want to hear a lecture, right? So I get home, it's around noon, and my wife says, "Well, was it worth it?" I said, "What do you mean? If you mean by worth it, I could drink as much soda as I want, and every 4 years I have an unbearable pain and have to go to the hospital and get some morphine? Because in that case, yeah, it was totally worth it." Thank you.